Hello and welcome along to episode 9 of A View from Section C. A little bit of a different week in the Stars Nation. A great weekend of results and then some disappointing news during the week. I can see Lars was already excited there. Dropping his pen on the floor, his phone.
That was my phone.
So we've got a lot to go through this week. First off, we're going to speak about Andy's Man Club. Lars was meant to touch on it last week, but obviously he kind of screwed that up a little bit, the unprofessional that he is. So we'll touch on that. We'll discuss McNally's Department of Player Safety decision, the review of a Clan Devils game, COVID protocols, now that we've been placed into it, a preview of Flyers and Blaze, should they go ahead, and then we will even squeeze in senior versus junior this week.
The return.
Yes. So to start things off, obviously we did say that last week. We tried our best to give it a shout out for Andy's Man Club after Craig Ingles reached out to both myself and senior. But obviously last week we never managed to get a very good shout out for them. So this week we are prepared. Larzo is prepared to give this shout out. So I'll hand it over to you.
Never. So as Junior has just said, Craig reached out to us in regards to Andy's Man Club. It is a mental health organisation for guys. And I'll read it out word for word. And the reason I'm reading it out word for word is so get it right. Because as you've just said, I'm so unprofessional. I've dropped my phone. I might actually need to leave halfway through this to answer the door to let your mum in the house and stuff like that. If you hear any snoring, right, it's because the dog's laying at my feet and she'll start snoring. Honestly, this is going to be. This is like Steptoe Son, the return of Steptoe Son. So, Andy's Man Club, right? Serious note. It's a male's mental health group for guys over the age of 18 to come and have a chat and a cuppa. They meet every Monday, except bank holidays, from 7 until 9 p.m. There are 2 venues in Dundee. One is at the Boomerang Centre in Kenbach Street, and the other is at Street Soccer, which is the old Lynch Centre. You don't have to be referred. Just turn up. There'll be people there. Go in and have a chat. And I believe you could chat about any mental health issues or any issues that males are having. I say anybody over the age of 18, any males over the age of 18 could go along to that and reach out to the guys. You've said it before, Junior. You work with it. It is okay not to be okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. And especially this time of year. It's probably the most difficult time of year for anyone with any issues. So, by all means, reach out to these guys if you do need a bit of support.
Again, even more so, COVID. We're going to touch on COVID through ice hockey. It's getting worse, and there'll be a lot of people out there struggling. So, reach out. There it is there. If you forgot, just keep listening back. You'll get it. Kenbach Street and the old Lynch Centre. So
and I believe it's just and it is Andy's Man Club on social media as well. So
that's right.
Type that on social media, find it. If not, speak to Craig Ingles. Craig goes to the games, appears in random places. As we've noticed over the years, and played a little game of Where's Wally.
Here's Craig.
But by all means, give him a shout. You'll be more than happy to speak to you. He's quite an approachable guy, so you'll have a chat with you and give you all the information as well. Okay.
So that's the seriousness out the window.
Yeah. Well,
let's go.
We're going to get a bit more serious here as well.
Oh, okay.
Because
I thought we were getting ready to go into another shite.
No, we're already talking about a DOPS decision.
See,
you're right.
Shite.
We're going to talk about shite, but it's a serious thing here.
Yeah.
How has this guy only got 2 games?
So I was listening to that because I had to go to the hospital again today, right? I know. People keep asking. The viewers need to hear what's going on, right? But I was back there again today. Anyway, I actually listened to the previous episode going through in the car. And at the end of us talking about McNally, guess what the last statement was? You'll get 2 games.
Yep.
And what did he get? 2 games.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
It is. You can see. I think a lot of the league's fans. So you see it on social media. A lot of the league's fans have said, "Yeah, it's only 2-3 games for what you've done on the ice." Maybe it is only 2-3 games for what you've done on the ice. But the fact is, he still offered a fan, even though the fan instigated it. He still offered a fan to come down and say it to his face or do it to his face. He's then charged at the barrier. The video does not do it justice. It really doesn't. Sitting there watching the whole thing, and I can't remember who I spoke to about it. We've got the perfect angle where we sit. We can see right down to that barrier.
Right. He definitely goes towards the barrier.
He pushed the barrier with both hands.
Right. It's like he pushes the barrier and then steps back.
Yes.
That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an absolute shambles.
I think it is. I don't think the punishment goes with the crime.
No.
And we're recording this the night after the game that we should have played last night. It was cancelled, right? But if you think about it, what did the Stars gain out of that? Absolutely nothing.
It happened one game that he didn't play.
Yeah, in a league game. It happened in the cup, but he's able to come back in the cup.
Yeah.
Don't understand that. I really don't. If this is football and you get suspended in the Scottish Cup, you're suspended in the Scottish Cup.
Yeah. The only problem with that, looking at it that way, is say it's the first game of the challenge, or well, say it is now, right? Say we progressed last night, okay, and McNally's banned for 3 games in the Challenge Cup. You'll only miss 1, and those 2 you might never ever serve it because you might leave.
Yeah, maybe you never explained it right. To me, he should have got 3.
Yeah,
he should have got 3. So they're not getting. They've got home advantage anyway, right? Into the second leg. Okay, they're 2 goals down, but they could bring this guy back in that game. To me, his minimum should have been 3 games.
Yeah.
So he does. Yeah. So Cardiff can't bring him back for this game.
Listen, it just goes to show, right, that a boy that hated Dundee stuck up for the decision of hatred towards it. Matt Nickerson.
Yeah.
Matt hates Dundee without a doubt. He hates Dundee from his Fife days, and even he's came out and jokingly said, "Do you not mean 22?" Because obviously his big ban that he got from, and he did hit the fan, but. Even he knows you can't be you can't go out and do that stuff. But it's as everyone says, it's a beer league. It really is.
It's getting that way.
Yeah, and a lot of people have actually said that it's open season now.
Yeah,
for doing things.
The thing for me about it is, right, who are these people on the Department of Player Safety? Who is it?
It's the Sheffield owner, the Nottingham owner. I do believe that Sheffield, someone from Sheffield, it's a representative from the clubs, I believe, is on this.
And
no, I don't think so. I think there was so many to begin with. There was like 3 or 4 representatives from the big clubs, effectively, and they brought in like an ex-NHL ref to overview it, like oversee it, and agree or disagree with the decisions. I don't know if that NHL ref's still part of it, but for me, it's an absolute joke.
It's a joke.
It needs to be.
It is a joke. But what could you do? This is what we're up against, eh?
Yeah.
But it becomes open season, and you don't like doing it. You don't like comparing player for player, because that's how you get. How many times people, but Springer's done this. We're now sort of, but remember Kyle Haas done that.
Yeah.
But if you set a precedence with certain suspensions for Springer, certain suspensions with Haas, they've got to continue. It's got to be consistent throughout the league, regardless of the player, regardless of the club.
Yeah.
It goes on the penalty that's been called.
He's been
That's
banned
what it goes
before.
on.
He's been banned before. So why is he not a repeat offender now?
Yeah.
It's as we say, it's a crock of shit.
Definitely is.
And I think we're not even surprised anymore. Dave Sweeten will be holding on to those Freddos that he keeps going on about, because I don't think anyone's ever going to agree with him for their ludicrous decisions like this. So, Dave, keep those Freddos for yourself, mate. So, I think we're probably better move on from that, because, I think we can all agree it's just a lot of shit. We're not going to get anywhere.
I think what will come into question, right, is their next decision.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting what the decision is going to get based on, right?
Yeah.
And then what kind of penalty gets handed out for that decision.
Yeah.
And depending on who the player is. Because everybody is now going to go back and compare it to what's happened with the Moonhowler.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
What could you do there? What could you do?
A 2-game ban for him, which kept him out of our game on the Sunday. But before that, we had the first viewing for us of the Braehead, Renfrewshire, Paisley, Glasgow
Lanarkshire clan.
And again, for me, a very underwhelming performance by Clan, but we were good. We were good at times.
The first thing I noticed about the Clan, right, was the limited number of away fans. That was the first thing I noticed.
I said that to you just
really surprised. Yeah, I was waiting on. We're in LA. We like to sit and watch the warm-ups and things like that. And I was just waiting on an influx of purple coming into that arena.
I know.
And it never happened. Never happened.
No.
Kudos to the wee guy with the drum. He kept them going like,
He even joined in a little bit of banter with our drums.
I loved it. It was really good. It was really good. It was a good bit of banter, a good bit of fun. But onto their team.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Great. Yeah, so
I was really surprised.
A 5-2 victory for the Stars. Charlie Combs after
goal of the season.
6:41. Without a doubt. Again, assist by Gabriel Desjardins, jumping in again with another assist for him. And Craig Moore. Colton Yellowhorn, the guy that we always spoke about. Assisted by Jones and Laporte on the power play. And then, again, very quickly at the restart, Gabriel Desjardins doing with the goal, assisted by Dorwich and Rutkiss. Sebastian Bengtson getting himself on the score sheet again. Another assist for Craig Moore at 18-16 to give us a 3-1 lead. End of the first. Connor Sills, assisted by Songe and Bengtson at 26-33. Cody Saul. Now, we said this again with getting that goal and then conceding quite early after it. Cody Saul, not long again after, we went 4-1 up, assist by Stevenson and Vainanen, and then Timmy Lattinen on the power play in the third period, again assist by Gabriel Desjardins and Charlie Combs. So again, top performance by Charlie Combs, Desjardins 1+2, and Bengtson jumping in with 1+1. I will say that I think it's Sebastian Bengtson's goal. I think it was assisted by Rutkiss, not Moore. Because Rutkiss had 2 assists. He had Tom's had 2 assists in the game. He only got credited for 1. But I thought Tom's was fantastic that game. Again, filling it at D and jumping in with a couple of assists.
So, rewind. 17 seconds into the game.
Yes.
And, well, actually, we'll rewind even further. Let's go to the warm-up. Go to the warm-up.
Yeah.
And the two of them are speaking on the halfway line.
And we're
thinking, oh, this is it. But then they start laughing, they hear joke, they sort of gain a wee fist pump, wee tap with the stick, and they go. And me and you're sitting thinking, this isn't happening. It's no him.
Tonight, no.
It's going to be Stevenson or Laporte that's going to go.
Yeah.
And then 17 seconds in, what happens? The two of them break, and it's big Cody against Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
That was a bit one-sided.
Yeah, not the best of fights. Must admit, not the best of fights. Purely from Saul's side of things, because I don't even think he managed to throw anything.
No.
And Kyle got him with 2 or 3 rapid, and then there was a tussle, and then a couple more punches were thrown, and he was down on the ice. Great sportsmanship at the end of it as well.
Definitely.
From Kyle, he actually, I believe he made sure he was okay, because he did fall with a big bang. He did have blood coming out his ear.
He had blood coming through his ear. I think he also hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, he was in the penalty box with his shoulder. So, yeah, good sportsmanship from Kyle. Kyle's had a lot of shit this year about throwing an extra punch when he's went down, or not going with the tough guys and picking on the wee guys. Listen, he's went one of the toughest guys in that team, possibly the toughest guy in the league, and he's made sure he's okay after it.
Yeah. Certainly one of the tallest guys in the league.
I'll tell you, it's probably one of the biggest boys I've seen on the ice and done for a long time.
He's a big guy, He's a big guy. And I was surprised, because I'd obviously done Glasgow Clan Live the night before.
Yeah.
And they spoke about Cody Saul as being this big, tough guy. And I'm thinking, I've looked at his penalty minutes, and he's not got a lot of penalty minutes. And the guy that was doing it with his Cali kept saying, it's his presence on the ice. And I thought, yeah, okay then. And then when I seen him coming out, I thought, Haas isn't going to go with him. He's too tall for Haas.
Yeah.
And when the two of them paired off, I thought, this is going to be good. This is going to be really good. Yeah. But what I noticed was Kyle, he didn't jump in. He just waited. He got into the boxer's stance, and then bam, he was away. And that was it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people were saying that, Kyle got the team going. I think Omar said it as well. He definitely did.
Yeah.
But I also think there was a kind of shit ourselves moment from the Clan team when they thought, whoa, hold on. He's just took our toughest guy out here. He's taking out the guy with the presence. How do we go from here? It's like they went into a shell.
He knocked the stuffing out of them. Absolutely knocked the stuffing out. And it took him probably a period to get sort of back into it again. Because the last two, now that could have been us sort of just easing off slightly. But what it done was allowed, they came into it, and there were more even periods.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, a great, like we said, 2 points were needed from that game, especially it being the first other Scottish derby of the season. The guys came out fired up after that fight. We got the goals again, scoring quite a bit, creating a lot of chances. Mo, when he had to be called upon, he did. A couple of big saves.
Right, could it be unprofessional?
Here's the unprofessional bit. Now, don't worry, folks. We will be deleting this out of the sound podcast, but when you're watching this on YouTube, you will see all this happening. Have you only picked the dog up?
No, your mum's just came in, so the dog knew she was in. She was at the door to get out, so if I had to go and open the door to let her through, then open the next door.
I thought you had to go and answer the door, right? Okay,
no, that's it.
So with that stoppage of play there,
I could have invited your mum on as a special guest.
Yeah, we'll have a 2-minute penalty for delay a game there. But yeah, so moving on, Sunday night then. Again, we said it last week.
Could I go back to Clan? Right? We spoke about Benson, right? We spoke about Rutgers. There's another guy I think has suddenly increased his effort, the way he's playing. His points production's beginning to creep back up that wee bit again. Is Timmy Lattinen. I think he was outstanding against the Clan, absolutely outstanding. And they three guys, especially Tom's on D, that is a find now. That is an absolute find for us. He could be the 6D man that we've been looking for.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say that Lattinen, because the guy does get a lot of bad press. He does. There's a lot of negativity about Lattinen when you're sitting at the games and whatnot. And when he does sort of come into games, begin to show, he scored that power play goal. And what you get then is that's what you should be doing anyway. So it's like some people can't even give him the positivity.
You know what? With Timmy, my only criticism of his game is the size of him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't use it. Now, again, it could be, I think Seb's been the same. Sebi's been the same, and it's taken him a while to adapt from that, the Scandinavian leagues into playing kind of North American game in Europe. You know, there's no lot of big hits in that in European games, depending on which level you're at. Obviously, KHL there is, but in the lower leagues, there's not that much physicality. It's all about your skill and your quickness in that. Yeah. I think it took Sebi a while to get used to it. He's now used to it. He's performing. Timmy might be the same. Timmy might be that he'd never had to use his size before the way that the fans are expecting him to. But listen, if he's chipping in with the goals and the assists here and there, and he's putting the effort in every game, never got any complaints about it. If he's putting it in. But one thing I would love to see is him use that size that he's got. He's a big boy, and he's quite bulky as well. So he's not a small, skinny guy. He's a guy that can throw that weight about.
He's a good skater. When
he's a very good skater.
When he's going down that wing and he's cutting in to get that shot away, he's a smooth skater, you know. Mm-hmm. So keep up the good work for Martin, definitely.
Yeah. So we were happy with the 2 points, and then we said if we could pick up anything in Cardiff, it's a bonus, and then that happened.
Yeah.
So
2-1.
2-1. A goal by Sebastian Bengtsson. Again, assist by Tom Rutkus, Gabriel Desjardins at 5:13. The equaliser from Trevor Cox, assist by Sanford, and registered at 15 minutes exactly. And then 3.5 minutes to go in the game. Sebastian Bengtsson pops up with a game winner, assisted by Dryden Dow and Spencer Dorowicz. Larzo, thoughts on that result?
That was
completely unexpected.
Totally unexpected. That was movement stuff.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say.
And this is the thing, right? The guys have, the players will read social media, and some of them will definitely listen to this now. Okay, and they're listening to this, and they're seeing things on social media, and they're saying, they're probably not expecting to get anything out of Cardiff, or not expecting to get anything out of Belfast, and these guys must be thinking, well, I'm not expected to get anything, but the performances just now, I'm comfortable and confident in this team going into any game now.
Yeah.
I never used to, for Stars teams in years gone by, unless we had a superstar team, probably the last one being
the Final Four.
The Final Four, and obviously one before that would have been the conference winning team.
Yeah.
Other than that, the other teams you wouldn't expect to go away down to Belfast and Cardiff and perform and win.
No.
With these guys, you can think to yourself, with the way we've been playing, okay, we'll go to Cardiff, we can maybe pick up a point here or pick up both.
See when we've got the full roster, or as close to a full roster as you possibly can, and everybody's playing well.
Yeah,
I think I mentioned it on the way home. We could take anybody at home. Anybody. I'm going up to the rink thinking we could win this. And then going away from home, you've always got, you're at the 50-50 now. Here, we might get someone out of this.
Yeah, a sneaky feeling.
Yeah, and instead of saying, we'll take the 2 points again, the Clan, and if we get someone, but we're not expected.
Yeah.
Whereas it's beginning to change again.
Yeah. I think a big boost for us that whole weekend in the Clan and Devils games was the return of Alex Rongier.
Yeah.
I think Alex obviously been out with concussion or a neck injury, some sort of head neck injury. But it was I was a bit worried every time he went into the boards, but he was still throwing his hits, calling guys out. Again, another player that wears his heart on his sleeve. And I think he played absolutely phenomenal again at the weekend for being out for so long. Obviously, I think he was the first one to go out before everyone else, wasn't he?
I think he was the first one to go. I think Ron was the first to go.
Yeah, so it was great to see him back, and performances, he didn't look like he'd been missing for a month, 2 months, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So it was great to have him back.
Sebi pops up with 2 goals again.
I know.
He's in such a rich vein of form at the moment. It's really good to watch. Really good to watch.
And I'm going to call him out here. This is all on Mikey Kidd. Mikey Kidd had been slating him for months on social media. And Seb is now, well, Mikey Kidd's lost a wee bit of weight recently, but he's going to be putting it back on again with all that humble pie he's
eating humble pie.
But yeah, Sebastian Benson, I think we've said it last week. We'll say it again this week. This is the player that we thought we were going to get.
Definitely
slow and getting going. But performance-wise, I think he's now caught up with Charlie in the stats.
All right.
For goals. I think they're now level on goals after his double at the weekend. Shout out to Charlie Combs as well. He's now in the top 10 top point scorer in the league. So we're starting to click everywhere now.
Yeah, and I think it's because Omar's now beginning to get his lines back together instead of having to chop and change.
Well, he's changed them from what they were originally.
Yeah, he's tweaked it slightly, and it's worked an absolute dream for him.
As he said in his little article on the Stars website about Sonch and Benson playing together, as quick as Charlie is as well. Those two together are rapid. Benson and Sonch, absolutely rapid.
I think what it is with Benson's he's your typical Swedish player, right? We were comparing him to the likes of Martin Vita, right?
Yeah.
Where he's got a really, really good hockey IQ, and his mind is working. He's a step ahead of everybody else. And what you're looking for is somebody else on the same line as him to be at that same level, who could possibly see, if I get into this position, he will get me that pass, because he's looking for that pass now.
Yeah.
And him and Sonch, fantastic.
They've totally clicked. In that line of, I'm pretty sure it's Dorwich, Desjardins, and Combs together. That line as well is just it's they complement each other so well, because obviously Charlie and Gabe are, they're your top points scorers in the team, and you've got the grit and determination, the physicality. Dorowicz, who just is an absolute workhorse along those boards and chasing everything down, and it leaves these guys open. He'll sucker in those D-men at the boards, leaves these guys open for a good chance if he can win that puck. It's just
Dorowicz for me is just becoming so good now. Really, really good.
Yeah.
We spoke sort of the first episode, I think it was, second episode, when we started speaking about the players, and I mentioned about Dorowicz, and I said, I can't wait to see him, because I'd read so much about him. Feisty kind of player, will not be frightened to go to dirty areas, will rack up points, but you'll get your points.
Yeah.
And on the run that we're on, he's at the forefront of that. He's your guy. The number of goals he's getting standing at that crease and just banging the puck and banging the puck. Doesn't give up. Great. Sure. I'm really enjoying watching Spencer Dorowicz just now.
Yeah. Final shout out from the weekend has to be Mo again. To go into Cardiff and only concede one.
1 on 37
that they've got. So 36 saves, save percentage of 97.30. You really can't complain about that from your goalie at all.
I'll give you the start for the guy who's meant to be the best in the league. And that was the guy who was in the opposite goal, Mark Kuruth. Now remember, we'd actually handed him his arse during the week. And then I must admit, I thought they'd have changed their goalie on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I think the Stars got to Kuruth on the Challenge Cup game. We only had 16 shots in Cardiff. 16. And he let in 2. 87.5%.
Yeah.
And he's meant to be the guy that's meant to be the best in the league.
Did you get that stat from Daryl on Twitter? It was the
No,
first thing he tweeted.
no, it wasn't. I'd actually got it for the Elite League website.
Yeah, but no,
But
yeah, team
again,
just clicking everywhere.
Mo's got rid of this helmet. I'm
We've
saying,
said it to him for months. We've said it for months.
that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So listen, Junior, I think we should take credit for this.
We did say it.
I think we started it,
Yeah.
getting Mo, get rid of the Flyers helmet, Mo. We kept saying it.
Yeah. And now look at it. But final shout out, okay? And this is to do with the team, but it's not the players. I put it on social media. One of the biggest shout outs has to go to Airlie.
Oh,
it's not you.
I thought it was me.
It's to Airlie. The amount of injuries that we've had over the last few weeks and the recovery time that they've had, for getting them back fit and that again, is the turnaround's been amazing, I think. How quick we've managed to get players back. Still guys probably playing with some little niggles, but to get them back on the ice, I think Airlie, Airlie's done a great job.
I seen Debbie Ward tweeting the same.
Did she?
So yeah, Debbie tweeted it as well. So that says a lot when the owners are coming up with things like that as well. Integral part. It's not all about the players on there playing every week. You've got your physio, you've got your doctor.
Yeah, Dr. Linda. Yeah. Always
They'll
there on game nights.
When they go to their gym classes or whatever, the spin classes. I know previous clubs, teams have done spin classes. All these guys that are behind the scenes, they'll not get a mention. So there's only there's a couple of wee negatives for me that come at the weekend, and I'm no negative type of guy, right? There was a lot. Cody Drover's now away, right? Unfortunately, I think everybody knew Cody Drover was away before it was announced.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it wasn't announced before it was. A lot of people were coming into the cup game. Oh, where's Drover? He's gone.
Yeah.
People, suddenly people knew about Drover being away.
Yeah. I think the thing with that is, and I get it. Why not? Is we don't want to give any team news before teams get here. Potentially, you don't want to give them any insight into what they're about to come into. So having them know that we might have been short benched. Obviously, Marcus was away with visa and family issues, whatever it was. Drover was out. Chris was obviously still out. So I think we were trying to kind of limit how much intel was going to teams, possibly. But yeah, Drover's now also away. So thanks for the few games you had.
And he played well. He did play well in the games he played. And then the other one is young Robo.
Yeah. I feel for Cali every week. I really do. I think there's times when we could be giving Cali ice time to give people a breather.
Totally agree.
And I don't mean that in any disrespect to Cali at all, that he's only good enough to give players a breather.
No, I'm the same. And I think if you spoke to Cali would tell you the same. He's not expecting to be logging up 20, 25 minutes a game. He will be expecting one or two shifts every period. Mm-hmm. And for me, there's times when that could happen. There really is. If you look at the emergence of Craig Garrigan, Craig plays 5-on-5, obviously. He also plays the penalty kill and plays the penalty kill very, very well, I hasten to add. But if Craig's playing the penalty kill, we come off a penalty kill, right? I would think Craig's next shift, Craig should maybe miss it, and then that's when Cali gets his time.
Yeah.
And then it goes back, I don't know. I used to go to training a lot in the Alvin days, right? I didn't go to training now. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, etc. I just feel so bad because I must admit, I was expecting Cali to be maybe getting around about the same minutes as Craig Garrigan or just slightly less.
Yeah.
But there's games he's not getting anything. Absolutely nothing.
We were 5-2 up against Clan on Saturday.
Yeah.
With about 10 minutes, 9 minutes to go.
Yeah.
A few shifts could be thrown in there. I know we're wanting to establish dominance against those teams.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. That there's times in games where we could afford to give him ice time.
Yeah,
and
I think Callie's a great wee player.
So do I.
I think he's a great wee player, and he works his arse off every time he's on the ice.
And you know what? Omar must think exactly the same, because if he didn't, he wouldn't have signed him.
He wouldn't have signed him. Yeah. But I think, I'm with you. I think he needs to, and he should be getting the ice time.
Definitely. But that's just a wee thing for me. But 4 points.
4-point weekend.
Fantastic.
And then
fantastic weekend.
We were saying that 4-point weekend, going into Challenge Cup on Wednesday, we're thinking we can do this. And then COVID hits.
Yeah.
So from what we know, or from what's been rumoured from Cardiff, is that it's one of our players has tested positive. They even came out and said that none of their players had tested positive.
Yeah. The league have placed Dundee Stars into COVID protocol, so it's somebody on our team.
Yeah. So some of our teams tested positive, which means obviously the full team will probably now be getting PCR tests. With the view that, this is the view I've got on it. So our weekend games have not been postponed yet. So it's obviously just possibly one player that's tested positive. And with only one player, with the rules and vaccinations and stuff, I believe every player needs to be fully vaccinated to play in the league. So if there's no other positive tests, they're all negative, and this one other player still tests positive, the rest of the team can still play.
Well, can they though?
The rest of the team can still play.
What happens if the player who's tested positive has got roommates? That, to me, that classifies it as the same household. And if the player tests positive again, then the people who stay in that household have to isolate for 10 days.
Yeah, I think it is. But elite sports,
if one player's in with them, right? If it's only two players sharing the flat,
then it's just the two players that are out.
Then it's the two players. But I know from past, we've somebody said 3 players or 4 players.
Yeah, unless there's a different rule for elite sports, potentially.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Potentially, I don't know. We don't know what this is the thing. We don't know what the elite league's COVID protocols are. We just know that the whole team is now in isolation, pending PCR results. But we're not the only ones. Belfast went into COVID protocols last night as well, or this morning.
Yeah, so when I started reading the announcement by the Elite League, it suddenly has Belfast Giants, Nottingham Panthers, and Dundee Stars, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, have they got this wrong? Should that not be Cardiff Devils?
Yeah,
and I'm thinking, where did Belfast come from? That suddenly came out of left field here.
Yeah,
and
so
then
Belfast,
Belfast must have it as well now.
Belfast seem to have a couple of positive tests. Again, from what I've read from Belfast fans, I believe it's one of the players and potentially one of the coaching staff that have tested positive. So they're all also currently getting PCR tests as well. Nottingham must be a big outbreak because they are out.
So they've basically stopped all their games up to is it to Christmas Eve or is it Boxing Day, something like that?
So it's their last game is suspended to us on the 22nd.
Right.
And then they play games after that again. So I'm assuming there's more that a considerable number of players have tested positive and in self-isolation for them not to play their games. So yeah, it's worrying, but
Oh, definitely.
I said it to you. I don't think that this will cause the end of the season. I think, if anything, if it kind of does blow up a little bit more, there might just be like a 2-week hiatus on the season, and then resume again after.
Yeah.
Everyone might self isolate for 10 days.
Yeah.
All clubs will self isolate for 10 days, and then they can go back to playing and strict rules.
So my view on it, right, would be similar to yours. However, there'll be a bit of what I'm going to say will probably annoy the life out of Stars fans. Right? I think you're right. I think we should stop probably now, or maybe maybe play this weekend's games, and then stop, and then all the games that are planned over, because there's a lot of games that are planned in between sort of
Monday
Christmas Eve, 22nd, say December, right up to the new year. I would stop all those games.
Yeah.
Right. And you listen, the players have got to play their part in this as well. So the fans, we've got our own opinions on should fans be close to players, but players have got a responsibility as well, right? And then start up again in the new year.
Yeah.
But cancel the Challenge Cup.
Yeah.
To free up ice time, get rid of the Challenge Cup. I don't like even. I'm not going to say I like the Challenge Cup now because we've got a great chance to get into the semi-final. I've never liked the Challenge Cup. I think it's an absolute waste of time.
Yeah.
I've said it umpteen times. So for me, get rid of the Challenge Cup and use the dates available for that to play games.
Yeah. No.
The only thing is the league season would go slightly longer. I don't know how that works for visas. I don't know.
And that's the thing. Visas might be the only issue, but again, if visas aren't an issue? What's an extra 2-3 weeks at the end of the season just to push it on that a little bit? The players get a shorter summer. What's two extra weeks? Because
the amount of games that clubs are being asked to play over the festive period, in my opinion, is a bit silly anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Nottingham's and then look at what they've had to get added on to it as well now. It's what happens. We're speaking about trying to contain this outbreak, yet you're expecting people to go out of the games again.
Yeah.
So you'll have 5,000-6,000 people at every Nottingham game.
Yeah.
Players can get injured.
Yeah. So we'll
who knows?
Hopefully have better news come. PCR results should be back tomorrow, assuming they all tested last night.
I think from your perspective, the best thing is that if the player, whoever it is, does test positive, he's okay. That's the most important thing.
Exactly. It's only hockey at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. We can go into Fife. We would hate it. We can go into Fife on Saturday and get pumped. We could play Belfast, Coventry at home on Sunday and get pumped. And this player who's tested positive is struggling.
Yeah.
Who cares? Who cares about the games? Edra, whoever it is fit and healthy.
We could go into Fife on Saturday and catch all sorts, and even COVID.
Well, come on. Ever seen a wee bit of banter we Aldrobo about Fife and COVID, because the COVID cases in Fife have spiked dramatically. Honestly, I don't care if you've seen the stats in Fife, and Kirkcaldy is number one.
Obviously,
number one, right? And we're going into there on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll not be there, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, but so that's kind of leads on to our preview of the Flyers Blaze at the weekend.
Yep.
We probably won't touch on this too much because we might not have a game at the weekend, depending on what results come back. But for me, if we are playing, I'm expecting, and we've got a foolish team, hopefully just one player missing or none, potentially. It could be a false positive. We don't know. 4-point weekend for me.
Definite.
The only nothing short of that. Maybe three minimum, but 4 points for me. I think we need to win both games and put pressure on both those teams to keep putting in
exactly the same. Exactly the same. We've got to go into Fife and play like we can play.
Yeah.
Not play like what we've played the last couple of times in Fife. We have to go in and play the way we've been playing over the past 2 or 3 weekends.
Yeah.
If we do that, we'll win. We'll win. And I also believe if we do exactly the same on Sunday against the Blaze, we'll win again. So I would agree with you. Minimum of 3 points, maximum of 4.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, should we say any more on that preview other than just 4 points is a must?
Well, that's it. That's it. I think it's all going to come. It's all going to come down to, is the game's going to be on?
Yeah. And are we going to be full strength?
Yeah. And who's going to be available for us? So we could be missing 1. We could be missing up to 4 set.
Yeah.
If we're missing up to 4, Chris Ingles is out. It's 5.
Yeah.
I don't know if Marcus is back. Could be 6.
Yeah, he was down for playing last night.
Oh, was he? Right. Okay then.
And FYI for a lot, I saw a lot of rumours saying it was Marcus that had tested positive last night. No one has released any names.
Maybe has a clue who it is.
Has tested positive. Marcus missed last weekend because he was in isolation from travelling back home, seemingly.
Yeah.
So he's been in isolation
to
prevent any spread of a virus. So Marcus is back. I don't think it could be Marcus is tested positive. We don't know, but just honestly, some of the rumours. I was messaging someone earlier on about it. Some of the rumours are ridiculous. Cardiff fans have said that the Stars stayed there on Sunday night after the game and were out on the pitch in Cardiff. Not true. Stars travelled down on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Just honestly, some of the things you see on social media are ridiculous.
And then what happens is the game gets cancelled last night and their goalie decides to go out and do a photo shoot with the fans.
I know. How stupid can you be?
Clown. Absolute clown.
No, a clown. What an absolute cock. How stupid could you be? Let's postpone the game because potentially, for all we know, if it's... I'm trying to think of a player. I saw pictures on Facebook last weekend of a few players with pictures with kids after the game, right? So say it was Adam Morrison, for example. I know Mo had his mask on the whole time, right? But say it was Adam Morrison that tested positive because he was posing for pictures with a kid or posing for pictures with this person or whatever, right? But this guy's then going out and posing for pictures with fans that have waited in the queue and signing autographs and sticks and stuff. How stupid can you be? It's the whole reason that... honestly.
It just doesn't make sense. I had a wee bit of banter with Hockey Laura, the Fifer. And
just on that, I love how she's now Hockey Laura. She will never be known as Hockey Laura to me.
Duffy.
It's Duffy.
Exactly.
I think she changed when she went to Elite League. It's always been Duffy. And someone asked me, "Oh, did you see such and such a tweet?" I was like, "Who? Oh, Duffy. Who's Duffy?" I'm going to tweet her after this. Get back to Duffy.
Yeah, she does listen in. She's suddenly got Fife coming to Elite League again. She suddenly goes, "Oh, Billy Big Balls, eh? What Hockey Laura now?" SNL was Duffy, Elite League. Hockey Laura now. But I was saying a wee bit of banter there. So obviously the news broke, and Laura had put on Twitter saying that must have been some bus journey down, right? And I'm thinking I need to come back with something. And I knew that Kirkcaldy had the big outbreaks. And I said, see what happens when you've got to go and pick up young Robo and Moorsey for Kirkcaldy. But I think on the COVID, the main thing is whoever it is, let's hope it's negative. If it is positive, let's hope they make a full recovery.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Make sure we're all safe. Make sure the team's safe.
And that's it.
And if we can get hockey this weekend, it's a bonus.
And if we do get hockey this weekend, follow the protocols. Everybody follow the protocols. We missed hockey for so long, and yet all we're being asked to do is wear a mask
when moving around.
Didn't get involved with players. Didn't ask players for autographs. Don't hang outside the dressing room. If this is what it's got to take to get a team on the ice, surely people could follow that. Surely.
I know.
Mask when you're going in, to your set, sit on your ass, you get take your mask off. You get up, you put your mask on. Didn't be standing around the plexi. If you're going to stand watching the game around the plexi, put your mask on. Didn't wait for the players. Didn't ask for photos. Do you see me dropping that book?
It's that unprofessionalism again.
Honestly, it's not like this on the Dode Fox podcast, I'll tell you.
Oh, Jesus. Right, so, yeah. Moving on.
The
return
of the quiz.
Senior versus junior. So we've missed it for a couple of weeks now, mainly because last week I was unprepared. But we have it this week. So I'll answer first then, I assume.
Okay. Right.
Now, you've gave me the year
2003, 2004.
Okay.
And here's your 5 numbers. You ready?
Yeah.
39. 16. 1983.
Jesus.
30. And 98.
98.
And I hope you're not Googling that while I'm reading out these numbers, right?
No, I'm trying to find your year because I forgot what year I was giving you.
Sausage. Right. And here's your players.
Yep.
You have Stuart Rugg.
Okay.
Big Tomo, Mark Thompson.
Yep.
Jason Schmier.
Yep.
Derek DeCoste. And finally, Dino Bauba.
Dino Bauba.
Yeah.
Right, I know Bauba straight away.
Okay.
This shirt number's 30.
You go to the rest of them before I start telling you the answers, boy.
Yeah, no. So Dino Bauba's 30. Okay. Let's go. I'm trying to think. They're all a lot older. So let's go. Stuart Rugg is 1983. I don't think he was as old as the rest of them.
Okay.
I could be wrong. So that's 1983. 98, I'm going to go as Tomo's penalty minutes.
Okay.
$16 is the amount of games DeCoste maybe played, because he only played half a season. And Jason Schmier, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that's his total points. But 39 seems awfully low for anything for him.
Right. You ready?
Yes.
You're a cheating wee shite because you got 5 of them.
Fuck off.
All right. You did.
Fuck off.
You did. So, Stuart Rugg,
we're taking a win this week, folks.
You've got it on that laptop.
You're
a cheating wee shite.
I've not got my laptop's turned off. Look, I can't lift it, but my laptop's turned off. It's plugged into my monitor. I'll turn my monitor on. Look, nothing on it.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Right, so Stuart Rugg was born 1983.
Yeah.
Dino Bauba wore number 30. You know what? I'd hoped you'd have went with Ruggers for that, eh?
No, he was 35. No.
Yeah, but I just thought the 3, right. I thought you'd have maybe come in with him.
I knew Bauba was 30. He's my favourite player.
Jason Schmier, 39 points.
Wow, rate that low.
Yeah. Mark Thompson, 98 penalty minutes.
Yeah, thought it might be.
And Derek DeCosta, I can't even believe you got this right when you come out with the wrong description. It was his jersey number.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought he was 33.
16.
Ah.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't have given us the point then.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that to you.
I thought he wore 30 odd, eh?
Yeah.
How many games did he play that season then? Do you know? Because he did come in halfway through.
Yeah. And I think that's why he had 16. Because
Possibly.
I think, did he not stay the following season and then went with his right number?
No, he only played one season with us.
Yeah. Nah, 16.
Wow.
So, 5 points takes you up to 14.
Wow.
Right. So I need to get 7 out of 5.
Yeah. So
right, come on, fire away.
You have the season 2016-2017.
All right.
Okay. So that was the playoff Final Four year.
Okay. No props.
So you have number 11.
Okay.
Number 23.
Okay.
Number 54. Number 86.
Okay.
And your last number is 14.
Okay.
Your players are
right.
Justin Farina.
Okay.
Kale Tanaka.
Okay.
Kevin Broyston. Tommaso Traversa.
Oh, the wee Sheffield shite.
Aye. And
he scored 2 on his debut.
I know. And Vinny Scarcella.
Oh, Vinny. If only we had Vinny now. Right.
I know. What a player.
So, I'm going to suddenly jump out and probably sound a bit cocky, right? And I'm going to go 23's Vinny.
Okay.
And 14's Kale.
Okay.
Right. I'm then going to go with Traversa. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that threw me there. Right. Nah. I'll Yeah, you've threw us there. That ain't threw us. Right, I'm going to go with...
It's even better watching us struggle.
Okay.
People can actually sit and see you struggling now.
Right, I'm going to go with Traversa for 11.
Okay.
I'm going to go Broyston with 54 and Juice with 86.
Okay, so you have 3 correct.
All right.
So number 11 is Tommaso Traversa's jersey number. Number 14 was Kale Tanaka's jersey number.
Right.
86 was Farina's penalty minutes. 23 was the number of goals scored by Kevin Broyston, who was our top goal scorer that year.
Right.
And 54 is the number of assists that Vinny had.
Was it? Thought it was too simple for you to throw in 23 for Scarcella, but
you know what? I never even looked at Scarcella's jersey number. I went straight to the stats for him because I knew he would be big on something.
Vinny wore 23.
Yeah, he did. Come to think of it, he did. You know what? I was going to be an even more shithousery, and I was going to throw Chris Ingles in there.
Oh,
Chris obviously never wore 11 that year.
All right.
He wore 96.
See, I think I'd have got that. Because
So what's the totals?
So you won 5-3. You have now taken a lead. You've got 14.
Well, I was already in the lead, but
extended the lead. Yeah, everybody knows that. Everybody knows. Everybody's fed up hearing about that. Did I tell you about my operation? No. You've got 14 and I have 10. You have a 4-point lead.
Yeah, and Larzo's winning streak ended at One.
At least there was a bit of a winning streak.
So
long way to go. Long way to go.
But hopefully we're sitting here next week with something to talk about, some hockey of some sort. Whether it's reviewing the weekend's games or if it's previewing the following weekend, if we're back on, it will be our Christmas
edition.
Christmas T-shirt edition.
Yeah.
See if you wear that fucking Pittsburgh jumper.
No, I won't. Got a new Christmas T-shirt.
Well,
not hockey related. It's just a Christmas T-shirt.
Oh, okay. I'll be wearing my hockey Christmas jumper probably.
I'll be your centres one,
obviously. But yeah, hopefully, again, as we said, everyone's safe is the main thing. Players and fans. I got my booster on Tuesday, so that I am now fully vaccinated. I feel a bit like Thanos, where I'm inevitable.
Yeah, I think we're at the stage where we, at this point in time, we're fully vaccinated as far as we can be.
Yeah,
because then I think how many more vaccinations are we going to get? But if it keeps us safe, that's the main thing.
Yeah, definitely. But hopefully,
I think our Christmas edition could be like me and you listen to Dode Fox. We could actually be like the Dode Fox next week, where we've got a view from Section C. We're not viewing nothing.
I know. Be a view from my house.
Yeah, a view from Section C, but with no games.
Yeah.
So if there's not any games, we'll wait to come in with some. We could speak about the during the week. We'll come in with some shite and see what we could come up with to entertain the troops.
Definitely. But again, the tickers there, Facebook and Twitter at AVF Section C. If you have any requests or anything you want us to talk about, anything like that, drop us a message, give feedback. Obviously, the YouTube was a massive hit. The video, Larzo.
Was it?
We actually had more views of the YouTube video than we've had listens on any of the other episodes. So
I'm glad I've come around this side so we could see the Christmas tree and the lights in the window.
What lights?
No bad. What light yourself?
Yeah, no bad. So on that note, have a good week, everyone. Stay safe, and we will see you next week.
Okay, thank you. See you after.